Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on a Monday night. Straight Shooting with Stevie Ray, the world's most dangerous podcast. I am your host, Stevie Ray. And like we do on all Mondays, man, we start a little bit early because we got some Monday Night Football to go watch so we can talk about it tomorrow. But at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. I'm live streaming now, but I know a lot of people might be not home from work yet, so on and so forth. But as long as Monday Night Football is going on, we're going to be doing these shows a little 1 hour earlier. Just 1 hour earlier. So we'll be coming on at 6 Central instead of 7 Central. But be it as it may, we're going to... sometimes Jimmy can make it. Sometimes he can't on Mondays because I think Jimmy's getting home late sometimes on Mondays. But if he can make it, fine. If he can't, it is what it is. But we'll send him the invite anyway, just to make sure everything's okay. Hope everybody out there had a great weekend. I did. Weather was not so good. Had a lot of things to do. Got invited to a couple of things, but I couldn't make it because it was what it was at the end of the day. But hey man, that's out of your mouth flops. Okay, the music is down. The show is on, and now it's going to be on like a steaming pot of neck bones. And that's how we do it here. Alpha Omega, what's up? Alpha said, I'm not going to be also say, how about them Cowboys like Skip? Because it was the midgets. But damn, we did our damn thing, Steve. Huh? Alpha, this is what I would like to see. The Cowboys beating up on a third-string quarterback in that atmosphere. I want to see the Dallas Cowboys beat up on somebody like that that's just as good as they are. You're supposed to pile drive the guys that ain't got nothing in the tank. That's what you're supposed to do. What's up, Kron? What's up, Real Cool? That's what you're supposed to do. But I didn't see them doing that when the 49ers was in town last year or this year. That's the last person they want to see is Brock Purdy. Debo. You know what I'm saying? That they don't want to see them. I want to see the Dallas Cowboys whoop somebody's ass when it's time to whoop somebody's ass. Barely got by the Chargers. A win is a win. Then you go out there against the Eagles. You play good. But the Eagles were the better team. What about that? What about that, Alpha? You get our chance toward the end of the year. Well, I'm like this. If the Eagles keep winning, you're going to be a wild card team. What I want to see is that you can't beat the 49ers because they got a good defense and a good offense. Any team that's well-rounded, the Dallas Cowboys have a problem with. If it wasn't for the fact that the Chargers got a pretty dormant defense sometimes, I really don't think they would have won that game, bro. Somebody can throw the ball with them. Dak is looking good. What about, Dak is really looking good. I never had no problem with Dak. I know the media does because he plays for the Dallas Cowboys. But at the end of the day, Lamb is coming on. Yeah, coming on against the teams that are not very good. Do it when it's time to do it. That's what I like. Do it when the chips are on the line. But you got to get there. And I'm telling you right now, if the Eagles keep winning, Dallas is going to be a wild card team. And if you're a wild card team, that means you got to win 3 games to get to the Super Bowl. I will bet every dime I got, Alpha, that the Dallas Cowboys cannot win 3 playoff games to get to the Super Bowl. I will bet every dime I got. And my cars and my motorcycles and my retirement, I will bet everything I got. Matter of fact, I got a bet with somebody on that right now, $500. Because he said Dallas Cowboys gonna win the division. The Eagles would have to fall apart for them to win the division. They would have to fall apart. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I just want to see it. I love Dak Prescott and I love a lot of Dallas Cowboys players. I just don't like the Dallas Cowboys, especially that fucking racist piece of shit, Jerry Jones. I just don't like him. I don't like that clown, bro. And as long as he the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, I'll never support him, and I always want him to get their ass whooped. Serious business. And I don't give a shit who knows it. But I want to see Dallas when they play. I don't want so much money off the Cowboys this year. It ain't funny, man. I still can't why people bet me on them. You know, I know the games they're going to win. Breaking news: Titan lost again. That ain't no Kron, that ain't no breaking news, man. Matter of fact, Kron, losing is one thing. Them suckers didn't even get off the plane, man. They didn't even get off the bus. What about that? And Dale was on his, I was listening to Dale's live feed last night on Facebook. You should have heard the excuses, man. You should have heard the excuses, bro. I mean, it's been the offensive coordinator last year. Remember, he was talking about the offensive coordinator last year. Now, this year, it's Mike Vrabel. Kron, it's Mike Vrabel. Real cool. I done won so much money on the Cowboys. I won big money when they played the 49ers. I won big money when they played the Eagles. And if I had been smart, I would have bet it on when they played the Cardinals. But that was a game I thought they would win. Whenever the Cowboys go up against a team that's very good, I'm picking the other team. And I've been right every time this year. I was right every time last year. Come on, man. Dallas got a good team, man. I just don't think they got everything else in-house. But they got a good team. But they just ain't got everything else, man. Those guys themselves actually start to believe that they're actually the best team in the league. And how many years we've been hearing about the Dallas Cowboys got the best talent in the NFL? How many years we've been hearing that? How do you have the best talent and can't do shit with it? How is that? I don't know if he blamed Jesus. He might blame Jesus real cool, but he ain't gonna say it. And who is that? John just said Cowboys always talking big game until it's time to play a big game. You know what? That is so fucking true. That is so true. And I'm listening to Skip Bayless today, man. This dude here, that dude need to be checked, man. They need to take him down to the hospital and get his mind checked on some of the shit that he's saying. Who talks about almost winning a football game? Who does that? They almost win. In sports, did anybody talk about who came in second place to Usain Bolt or Carl Lewis? What is that? almost winning a game. This is beyond any sane man's comprehension. And they're gonna do this, and they're gonna do that, and they're gonna do this. It ain't and he say that same stuff year after year after year after year. I guess it's just theater for the people though. Because if you done went through 15, 20 years of hearing the same thing from the same people about the same subject, and none of it ever comes to fruition, then you already know how it's gonna end, bro. Something's up with them. They they do have the talent, but something's been wrong with the team decades. That's true, John. The same thing I say. The same thing I say. It's something wrong, man. And they always, they've been blaming Dak. How many times they blame Dak? Oh, he threw this many interceptions, and Dak did this, and blah, blah, blah. Zach played his ass off against the Eagles, and they still lost. You can't play football no better than that offensively and still lose. That means something's wrong somewhere else, man. I think structurally, Dallas just don't have a game, the right game plan at the right time. You see how some teams play a first half this way and a second half this way, and they try to dictate. The Cowboys can only dictate to the teams that's not very good. And that's just because of your overall talent. It's just much better than some of those other teams. But you see teams that offset everything they do, and they look so confused because they can't do what they want to do, because the adjustments are not there. Then what do? They go back to what they are, and they blame it all on the quarterback. They do that all the time. But Odell, man, Alpha, all right, you're going to lose money on some of them guys. Oh, really? I'm not afraid of losing money. What I'm afraid of is losing money consistently. If I win 7 and I lose 3, I'm good. But long as I'm betting against the Dallas Cowboys, I know that ain't never gonna happen. That ain't never gonna happen. I know what teams to bet on. Yeah, I know what I take that back. I know what games to bet on. Dolphins cannot play in December unless they're playing somewhere else, unless they're playing at home. But you got to realize the Dolphins are in a division with nothing but winter teams. Nothing but winter teams. The Jets, cold. Buffalo. Man, who would want to go? Man, we used to wrestle up in Buffalo in the wintertime, bro. I hated going to that city, man, in the wintertime. New England, cold. That's kind of messed up, though. You put the one team where it's never cold in the division where it's always cold. I never really thought about that till right now. Cron, let's see what you're saying. Man, I've been hearing that from the Cowboys since the Quincy Carter. Yeah, you saying same thing, man. Only thing changed with the Cowboys is the uniforms. Now, wait a minute. Dale just said something, y'all. Dale said something. Just be speaking facts. You mean he's been right when he speaks facts? And Mike Vrabel is the reason why they're not, look, that Mike Clemson does a real. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Mike Vrabel is a good coach. Dale, you've been making excuses for the last 3 years. Now you're down to the coach. You're down to the coach now. Last year was the offense coordinator. Dale, I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with the Tennessee Titans. And you can blame Jesus Christ, just like somebody just said. I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with the Tennessee Titans. Mark my word. You guys are just not very good. It ain't no coach gone. Ain't no new. I mean, I was just having an argument with people online a week or so ago about the Steelers, and different Steeler fans talking about they need to change coaches and all that. And I got in everybody's ass. You know why? Because I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan through and through since 1972. Okay? I live and die with them. Because it's like this, when things get bad, we don't go running to the hills like other fans in the NFL. We don't go running to the fucking hills. We don't do that. We stick with our team because we know they're going to correct it. We're not going to be one of these other 31 teams that change coaches every fucking few days and got to pay them forever. Like the Raiders and like Houston, right here where I live. We ain't going to do that. When you got something good, let him correct it. As long as you got people that's getting him good talent. Apparently ain't nobody getting y'all good talent no more. Matter of fact, the Tennessee Titans so ass backwards, they get rid of Pro Bowlers. And you blame that on the coach. No, that's an in-house thing. With your GM, player personnel, ownership, everything. That's what's wrong with the Tennessee Titans. You're not any good from the inside out. But everybody always want to look at the outside in. But if you're not any good from the inside out, Mike Tomlin won 6 games. Ugly. But he won them with no offense. A little running here, a clutch pass there, good defense, interception here, fumble recover there. It's more than one way to skin a cat. You just got to know how to go out there and skin him. Because you know you don't have the faculty to keep up offensively. So you got to do everything you can to stop somebody. And if Mike Tomlin did that for the last 3 years, he went big fat ass beer drinking Big Ben, didn't even have any legs anymore. Even with injuries. But it's more than one way to skin a cat. But when you're just not very good and you do not have the faculty to go out there and win in another way, bruh, it is what it is. So stop calling for new coaches and all this shit like all these other teams do for the last 100 years. How many coaches right here in Houston, how many coaches we done had in the last 3-4 years? Letting guys go after a year, letting another guy go after a couple of years. I mean, come on, man. Finally, look like here in Houston, we got one now, but look what they had to go through to get them. They had to go through all kind of new personnel in the front office. All kind of new personnel in the front office. And it looked like that's what Dale and the Tennessee Titans need to do. It ain't your coaching, bro. You can have Vince Lombardi come back from being cloned and have Tom Landry as a defensive coordinator. Yeah, you can have that. And Chuck Noll over there with him. And Don Shula as your offensive coordinator. And you still ain't going to win if you ain't got the right people in the office putting the right talent on the field at the right time. So keep blaming the quarterback. You got a quarterback now. Oh, this rookie's supposed to be, he looked like the drizzling shits yesterday. He looked like a rookie. Oh, but in that first game, he threw all those long passes. Then he get out there against the Steelers and look like the drizzling shits. He get out there yesterday, look like the drizzling shits. So maybe he ain't the answer either. Offensive coordinator, you got a new one. He ain't the answer either. It's from the inside out. Stop looking at the outside. Look at the inside. You're just not very good from top to bottom. Ain't no coach gonna solve that problem. So you're gonna be looking and hoping and praying forever until they get it fixed. Yeah. Mark my word. Mark my word. But anyway, it is what it is. Let's get Jimmy out here, y'all. Jimmy!
Stevie, do you see the egg on my face?
Well, no, I don't.
It's all over my
Why
face,
is that on
man.
your face?
I thought we were doing another monthly show, so I was about to run out to Sam's get some supplies for the vending machine business, and I look at the email. I'm like, the Gmail. Who is that sending me a G? And it was you. I'm like, oh no, let me get my stuff together. So I have no show prep. I have nothing. So we gonna see how this works out. I usually try to have something we can talk about, but I thought we were doing it next week as like doing it once a month, and it's just been a lot of stuff
No, that's
going
cool.
on.
I mean, but we'd have missed a few weeks. Well, like I told
Right,
everybody, Jimmy comes on. I didn't know if you was home. I didn't get a chance to send you a
right,
text to let you know what was what. So I said, "Oh,
yeah,
I just send the email. If he answers it, he answers. If not, we know what's up."
yeah. Well,
So
look,
that's what I
real
told
quick.
everybody today.
Did did uh did anyone watch the Baltimore Cleveland game?
I didn't. I only watched the highlights.
Okay, I would love to know. The commentator is one of them black guy because when Lamar throws the ball, they batted down, it became an interception. The commentator went, oh. He didn't go even, because he saw the whole thing.
Right.
Because that's something the black guy would say.
It's funny you bring up
Oh,
Baltimore because I haven't seen. Oh, there she go, Queen. I hadn't seen Queen. Queen them lost a tough one yesterday. What's up, Queen? I was just because that's her team, Baltimore. And now they talking about Baltimore today. I mean, what is with this shit, man?
Yeah.
What is with this tough fought game against Cleveland? Cleveland, hell of a defense, And now it seems like the offense is starting to come around little by little. They lost a tough game. They had some tough breaks. And now they're talking about them. This is only their third loss. And now they're talking about them like it's the end of the world.
That's football.
I don't get these Saturday morning sports talk shows now are starting to remind me of morning cartoons when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That's what it's starting to remind me of, bro.
Yeah.
Because I do not get some of damn, bro, that's football. When did football become the end of the world just because you lost? I mean, other than Dale talking about the Tennessee Titans, he's blaming the coach now. He's blaming the coach now. Mike Vrabel don't know how to coach. Mike Vrabel, them suckers hadn't did nothing in years until Mike Vrabel got there. It shows you that's the loyalty. Now you see what I'm talking about, Jimmy? Loyalty. Jimmy, your girl, you got a nice girl. She went out and bought too much stuff one time, Jimmy. She went out and got your credit card, but she bought too much one time, Jimmy. Jimmy, don't blow your top, Jimmy. It was just one time, Jimmy. That ain't no reason to say, well, get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Right. In the case of Dale, don't throw out the baby with a bad body shape. Don't throw. No. Yeah, but isn't that the nature of sports talk? Just that it's, in other words, it's
not when you're supposed to know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, but but still
that's fan talk. That's barbershop talk.
Right, I know. Right. But it's just talk radio is chewing gum for the brain. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So all these shows, hell, it is what it is, man. I mean, but to answer your question, when did it all change? I think it changed when the Baltimore Ravens won the Super Bowl that first year in 2000 or 2001. And I think with the year before them or something, it was the Rams. That's when things changed. That anything can happen. See, I don't give a damn what Joe Burris is doing right now. Let me see what he looks like in week 17. You just have to get hot at the right time, Stevie.
Dog, I know that. What people don't realize, Jimmy, is the parity in the league these days. The parity is not like yesterday or even 10 years ago.
Thank you.
The parity now, brother, is, you could lose unless a team like the Giants that played yesterday, you're on your last leg and the Dallas Cowboys run the score up on them. Okay. In essence, that don't really make the Giants look bad. They make the Cowboys look bad. You know why? Because you did it against a team that ain't got nothing going right now. So then the next week come by, like when the Dolphins scored 70 points earlier this season. Remember that? They scored 70 points. Then the next week, they get their ass whooped.
That's called parity. Right.
That's parity, bro.
That's what you're going to see.
Now, back in the day when somebody whoop your ass like that, you can pretty much look for that team either to be in the Super Bowl or the championship game. You know what I'm saying? You can look. That's how good they were. Because we whooping all asses when we see them, and not until the playoffs is when somebody as good as they are.
Yeah. Now you know the answer to this.
Wait a minute, Jimmy. Yeah. Wait a minute, Jimmy. They'll just put something up. Dale said exactly, real cold. Good coaches win games no matter how good the talent is. That's a lie. That's a lie, Dale. That's bullshit. If that's the case, why Jimbo Fisher just took his ass home? Huh? He's a good coach. Why is that? No matter how good your talent is. That is bullshit. That's first and foremost. If that's the case, no coaches will get fired. You got to be good to even get the job. And Mike Vrabel has proven himself on many occasions that he knows what he's doing. And then said, but if you ain't got talent, not today's talent, you might have had yesterday's talent. But having today's talent to keep up now, you got to have better than you had Mike. Mike Tomlin going through the same thing. But he's a coach that recognizes what's really going on. So until he do this, I got to do this. But anyway, Jimmy, go ahead and finish.
So there was a team. You're going to know the answer to the trivia question.
What's that?
In the regular season, they took their ass up to New England.
Okay.
Cold game, snowing.
As usual.
And I think got beat something like, 52-3 or so. I mean, just if it was biblical times, they would have called it a sacrifice.
Right.
You know that team went to the Super Bowl that year against your Steelers?
No, I don't. What team was that?
The Arizona Cardinals.
Damn sure did. Did.
Beat them like a drum. And
I remember that. Matter of fact, they lost a few games like that season.
Absolutely. Got hot at the right time.
They got hot at the right time.
They went to North Carolina and shook the world. And then they beat the Eagles.
Right.
Last drive of the game or something like that. But that's what I'm saying. That's what you're going to see now with parity and free agency. Right. If they wouldn't have put free agency in the NFL, Jim Kelly and the Bills would still be getting their ass kicked in Super Bowls.
Right.
See, that free agent stopped all that kind of shit, see? So,
free agent opened it up for a lot of teams that were pretty mediocre.
Right. Last point. The season now really doesn't start until week 5. Because them first 2 games are just warm-ups. They're not playing regular, like in the old days, they play hard in the preseason.
Right.
They don't play hard in the preseason anymore. So those first 4 games are just warm-ups, man.
Exactly.
So not, and that's just the way it's going to be, man. I just think it's exciting personally. Because
it is exciting.
It is,
But I'm just saying, the blame game, like everybody, I was just telling some people about how Steelers fans look at Steelers. We don't do that bullshit. Get me a new coach because we wasn't good this year. Get me a new this because he dropped the football. We don't do that. Correct it, Jimmy.
Hold on.
Go do your job, Jimmy. If you're the coach, go do your job. I'm going to get you good players. We're going to resurrect this some way, shape, or form. But to just give it up and start all over again and give away money like it's growing on trees, you know coaches contracts are guaranteed and they don't fall up under the same thing as the players. They don't fall up under that. Jimmy, if I want to give you $200 million, Jimmy, I can give it to you. That's between me and you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I give a player $200 million, that's totally different because we got a cap. We got a salary cap. Coaches ain't got no salary cap. So, like the guy that was, I forgot his name, that was coaching here a couple of years ago. 1 year. He had a 4-year deal. $20 million.
Okay.
They still owed him $15 million after they capped him. Still owe him that. Still got to pay him.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's one thing to let things play out when a guy improved himself. Mike Vrabel has proved himself that he can coach at that level. And he was a young guy when he came in. A position coach here with the Texans. He was a position coach. But now, Dale don't want to get rid of him. And get who?
Yeah. That's fans, though. That's fans, man.
They don't want to get rid of him. Oh, it's the coach.
And unless it's something that they know. What was the guy's name, Stephen? He used to coach the Philadelphia Eagles, a black coach.
You talking about he was?
You know what I'm talking about? Ray
Rhodes.
Ray Rhodes. And he went to Green Bay, and he was there for 1 year. They're like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. So whatever happened,
that did happen to a lot of the Cardinals did that to 2 guys back to back.
Yeah.
The Cardinals. Yeah. They did that. I mean, I don't want to root for a fucking team that's got a new coach every goddamn other year.
Right.
And everybody waiting for this big miracle to happen. Okay, he might get a couple of seasons, but as soon as he go back to Palookaville, let's get rid of him. That's what the Dallas Cowboys are going through right now.
Yeah, but still, I'm sorry, Steve. Yeah, the NFL is the ultimate team sport because I'm sorry, you switch Dan Marino and Joe, what's the Joe for San Francisco? What was his name? Montana. You switch those 2 guys in their heyday, and Marino might have 9 Super Bowls. It's a team sport.
Or you could put Marino with the 49ers and they fall apart because he's not built for that system.
There you go.
You never know.
But you have to go to the right place, right time.
Because Marino was a guy that likes to call his own plays and do what he liked to do. Yeah. Joe Montana, the West Coast offense was built for him.
Yeah.
That's why when Dan Marino left the Dolphins, they've been looking for a quarterback. They've been in search of a quarterback since David Ruffin left the damn Temptations. Think about that.
Absolutely.
But if you notice the 49ers, when Joe Montana left, they still winning. Steve Young, Garcia behind him. It was the same system.
Yeah.
And everybody flourished in it. So, but in Miami, Dan Marino built his own system.
Yeah.
Well, bro, these guys that came up behind him, we can't play like that. Huh?
Right. But to Dale's point is that San Francisco say the same thing about Joe Montana. What have you done for me lately? He had that back injury and all that.
Yeah, but you remember the thing about Montana was the injuries. He was getting hurt every year. You know, because back then you could kill a man, Jimmy, in the middle of the street. Man. You could kill a man. And nobody was like, he got killed today. Ain't no big deal. Who's that? Oh, that's a quarterback. He's dead. You know what I mean? What the? Come on, Jimmy. Did you see when Leonard Marshall for the Giants hit Joe Montana that day? Woo. And they thought he killed Joe Montana? Now Leonard Marshall is an attorney. He almost had to defend himself.
That's my jokes. When Tom Brady was still playing, I said, "Don't worry." I said, "His day is coming." I said, Joe Montana got hit so hard in the game when he woke up, he was playing in Kansas City. It's just inevitable, you know what I'm saying? But in those days, you're right, man. They could kill the quarterback. But you remember when they used to have the Pro Bowl when it really meant something back in the day?
Yeah.
And I can't think of the two players, but they were another team, and they saw Joe Montana at the beach. They say, "That's Joe Montana," because he was very slight. He just
exactly.
But see, Joe had a knack for winning. I'm not saying he wasn't good.
Right.
He just had a knack for winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, this guy.
Nothing bothers the dude. Yeah. And he was like that in college. Nothing bothers him. Those are players with no emotions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just some people born with no emotions.
And that's leadership. That's leadership. But I think one of the funniest stories was when you were playing the Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl, and the guys were all uptight and everything. They're driving, and Montana looked up and said, "Hey, H, Horace. I can't think of Horace's last name. Yeah. And, hey, H, ain't that John Candy over there? John Candy was at the game meeting." Right. And that seemed to make everybody relax, and they went down and scored the winning touchdown. But see, Joe,
nothing bothers him. Hey, man, that's funny to him. And everybody else will wind up like, "Oh man, we got to win this game. I got to make my block. I got to do this."
Yeah,
man, look at that John Candy over there.
Joe cool.
Wow, bro. Like my boy just said, like when Lawrence Taylor broke Joe Theismann's leg. I'm just saying, you 100% right about that. This is the 80s, man. In the 80s, bruh. That's why if you go back and look at the 80s, the same teams dominated for 10 years. Same exact teams. And all those teams played similar to each other. Yeah, that's when all this passing started. But the teams that had hell of a defenses and hell of a running games and quarterbacks that, that were just very high efficient, they were in the Super Bowl every year. Or they was damn near in the Super Bowl. Or they played with the teams that went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's just how it was.
You're right. Nowadays, it seemed to be a rotation, Stevie. It seemed to be a rotation. It was Washington, San Francisco, the Giants, and Chicago. Just kick the shit out of people's ass. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what I'm saying, all those teams are similar.
That's what I'm saying, right? The styles are similar for those.
All those teams play similar to each other because what do they got? Running game, hell of a defense. Washington, they could play any kind of way. Washington did the shit with 3 different Super Bowls. That's how your coaching staff know what they're doing. That's how you know.
3 different quarterbacks.
3 different quarterbacks.
3 different quarterbacks.
Joe Theismann, Mark Rippon, and Doug Williams. And who was that? What's his name? Stan Humphries was on the team. He was Mark Rippon's backup.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That went to the Super Bowl with the Chargers.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Wow.
So that's four. They put 4 quarterbacks in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stan Humphries used to play for Bobby Beathard. Yeah. Bobby Beathard is who found all of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Bobby Beathard's nephew is the Beathard that was playing for the 49ers. Quarterback. You see what I'm talking about, Dale? See, Dale, you can't keep up on this kind of stuff, bro. See, this kind of stuff, you got to be in the trenches, man. You got to be in the trenches. Yeah. Stan Humphries went to 2 Super Bowls, Dale.
Yeah.
One with Washington. He got a ring. He didn't play, but he got a ring.
So did Jim McMahon. He went to 2 of them. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. But Stevie, why does that happen? Mark Rippon, Jeff Hostetler, these guys won a Super Bowl and then they just dropped off the face of the earth. Did they just get stupid overnight?
I tell you what happened to Mark Rippon. Mark Rippon had a few good seasons. Mm-hmm. What happened with Mark Rippon is that The Redskins were pretty much at the end of their run. You know, it's pretty much, that 80s team and all those guys start leaving in the early 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then not too long after that, Joe Gibbs went to NASCAR.
Yeah. Mark went to Cleveland, and it's just so
then he just started
bizarre.
going from place to place,
That's why I said it's a team sport, man. You got to be in the right
sport, bro.
You got to be in the right spot.
And the only thing
Jake Delhomme, he's from Louisiana. Yeah. He played with the Saints. Went to with Carolina. Went to a Super Bowl, and a couple of years later, he's playing in Cleveland. Man, look, that's why I never understand Tom Brady crying about when he was drafted. He could have been the #1 pick, and his ass would have been out the league in a year.
I don't think Tom Brady ever really made a big deal about that. I think the media made a big deal about that.
No, you got to watch the ESPN thing on him, and he said he remembers all the guys that went before him.
I know, I saw that. But I'm just saying, when you Tom Brady didn't even start in college full time.
Right. It was a Drew Henson.
Drew Henson
was supposed to be the next one.
But Drew Henson played.
He can't even play.
Drew Henson was very good in baseball. He got drafted in baseball.
Yeah.
Then he went to play baseball, and I guess he wasn't very good in baseball. Then he came back, and guess who he went to? The Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
And Drew Henson has never been heard of since.
Bill Parcells said, all I want to see is Drew Henson.
You're not going to be you're not going to be a top draft choice if you ain't putting up big numbers in college. I think Tom Brady was good in college, but Drew Henson was good too. Drew Henson was good.
Man. No, Drew was the man. It's just that, but I'm just saying.
It's been a lot of guys that have played with other guys, behind other guys, and gotten the pros and was better. And that's just one of those things.
Yeah. But
Franco Harris used to block for Lydell Mitchell at Penn State. Franco Harris in the Hall of Fame. And people out there listening to me right now probably wondering, who the hell is Lydell Mitchell?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes sometimes in college, man. Like, it's been a few of those situations, man, with one guy behind another guy, and that guy gets to the pros and he's much better. Like, damn, he beat him out in college. But that's when you kids. That's when you kids. Can you adapt to this next level?
Mm-hmm.
Can you adapt? Now, everybody thought the kid coming out of Alabama that's playing with the Carolina Panthers right now, everybody thought he was going to be the next big thing. He's still a rookie.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's Steve Young's son.
Yeah, right. But Chase Young. But not what is it? Chase Young? What is it? Something Young.
Is it Byron Young or something like that?
Somebody tell me here in a minute.
Yeah.
Like Matthew just said, Frank Gore couldn't get on the field at Miami. You remember that? I remember that. He couldn't even get on the field in Miami. 93rd leading rusher in the NFL of all time.
Bryce Young. Bryce Young. Yeah.
Yeah, Bryce Young.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thurman Thomas started from it, Barry Sanders. Yeah. Sometimes it's just like that, man. Bryce Young. But I'm just saying, but you look at the kid here in Houston. This guy plays like he got ice water in his veins, man. And I'm talking about with a new coach, new offensive coordinator, new GM, different people in player personnel, a lot of rookies and guys that came from other teams. That's what I'm talking about when you look for an identity and put it together. No blame game. We just want to do what we can do this year to get better. But they're ahead of schedule. You know what I'm saying? When you're ahead of schedule, Jimmy, then you can experiment a little bit. When all the guys, those coaches go in the meeting and they look at the film and go, wow, brother, that's That's a read right there that a 5-year veteran wouldn't even get right. Okay, let's open the game plan up for him a little bit more. You tell your offense coordinator, hey, you see what he does good now. Let's do a little bit more for him, see what happens. And he's still going up, 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 up. You know what I'm saying? Not like this guy in Tennessee who's going to be dead before the season's over. That's what I predict. Real Levis will be on the critical list before the year is over, Dale. I hope he's watching. You know,
Wow.
I'm serious. They was all up and up. Oh, we got a quarterback now. That's what Dale was saying. Because of that game when he threw the 4 touchdowns. Then the next week he got to play Pittsburgh. And he's pulling grass out of his teeth.
And at halftime, he was reading those thoughts to remember by Dale. Just remember, boys and girls.
Push your head down in the ground when they get up off of him. No, I like Will Levis, though. I don't want to talk no lip about it. I like Will Levis.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be all right, but they're putting too much on him too fast, if you see what I'm saying. When you're talking about a rookie quarterback, you just can't put too much on him too fast, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's just – the game is just so fast, especially when you had success in a game. Now you think you can repeat that success week after week after week. Yesterday, what the Titans score? 3 points? What's that? Matthew, what the Titans score yesterday? 3 points? That's horrible. That's bad. And Will Levis didn't even complete 50% of his passes. So what happened? What happened, Jimmy? You were just the talk of the town a couple of weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? Man. Now you're running around. Now you're running around like a criminal, trying to hide.
Yeah. And I feel sorry for that guy in Minnesota.
They scored 6. They scored 6 yesterday, Jimmy. Yeah. I thought it was 3.
3 and 6. There you go. Yeah. That poor fella in Minnesota. Boy, when they lose the game, they gonna want to hang him.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because that's the worst position you can come in, Jimmy, is in the middle of the season. Jimmy, I don't even know your name. What's your name? Jimmy who?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, what do you do here, Jimmy? I'm player personnel. I'm the one that brought you in. Oh.
Have you ever?
You don't want to offer me the peanuts I got to play for the rest of the season.
Have you ever heard some shit like this before?
Huh?
A guy that was on another team 5 days ago comes in and wins the game.
I've never heard of it. I ain't never heard of it.
Right, never. This kid might be something else, man.
You know what? He got drafted by Pittsburgh back in like 17, 18. Because he was a hell of a quarterback in Tennessee.
Okay.
And I can't remember if they drafted him in the 3rd round or the 4th round. But Josh Dobbs has always played good in preseason because, you know, he was down on the totem pole. But he always looked good. And then the Steelers had got rid of him. Then they brought him back.
Okay.
And then they got that sorry-ass piece of shit Mason Rudolph. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That day he had to fight with a homeboy for the Browns, and the dude hit him on the head with the helmet. I wish he had to crack his damn skull and his ass wouldn't be on the damn team no more. That's what I wish.
Dang.
Oh, he could have put him in the hospital. You know what I was saying? Good. Go to the hospital. Put his ass in a paddy wagon. Get his ass off this team. He's garbage. And they kept him over Josh Dobbs.
Yeah. The paddy wagon. Damn, Steve.
Oh, man, I don't care nothing about that shit, man.
The paddy wagon.
Yeah. Punk ass. Him and that sorry ass receiver that came in with him, both of them. Get them suckers out. Now, I know Mike Tomlin, but I'm going to be honest with you, man. I take some of the things I just said about Mason Rudolph back. I'm going to take a couple of them back, not all of them. I think he's better than Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I really think he's better than Mr. Biscuit. I don't even know why he's in the NFL, bro. I really don't. Mr. Biscuit should be third string at best. I mean, that guy's garbage. The Steelers, all their quarterbacks put together, might equal one good quarterback. But what I'm saying is, Josh Dobbs, to me, because I watched the Steelers, Josh Dobbs earned, but when they brought Trubisky in, and then they drafted Kenny Pickett, there's no room for 4 quarterbacks. So you know who was going.
Gotcha.
Josh Dobbs. I mean, but now look at him now. You know the dude, a rocket scientist, man.
Right. Isn't he like an astronaut or something?
Huh?
Isn't he like an astronaut or something like that? Or?
No. He's a rocket scientist. He worked on spaceships.
Right.
That's what he went to school for. He got a degree in like astrophysics.
Yeah.
The dude is brainy, man. That's what he do on the off season. He worked for NASA.
It's an incredible story.
Yeah.
Really. And I think they're going to make some noise. I think they're going to make some noise.
But, Minnesota, going back to what you just said, Minnesota, like you said, started out slow. They were scoring points, but, they got new defense coordinator, Flores. They got him from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Okay? That was the head coach of the Dolphins. He's there now. Now those guys are that's the only thing been wrong with Minnesota for the last 4 or 5 years, since Kirk Cousins been there. He never had a defense. Now he finally gets the defense. Then he tears his Achilles. I'm like, God. I'm like, how many things can go bad for you, bro? Won 3 in a row. His stats are in the top 3 with every quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
And then he tears Achilles, man. Right when he get a new defense coordinator. And, that's helping Josh Dobbs a lot because they got a good defense.
Yeah.
So that's helping him a lot.
Yeah,
but he's still doing his business.
Yeah, this Cousins thing is starting to remind me of this Alex Smith thing. Just
why's that?
If it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any at all.
Yeah, but hey, man, but Kirk, they know Kirk down at the bank though. They know Kirk down at the bank, baby, because Kirk said, "Hey, man, I got to deposit about 35. This week."
Yeah. Exactly.
Kirk was the first person to get a guaranteed 2 of them.
2 of them. Yeah.
84 and 66. Back to back. I mean, within 3 years.
Yeah.
And then got a $25 million. The year before that, a $25 million because they franchised him. Then the year before that, he had to get 20 because they franchised him again. So that's 20 plus 25 plus 84 plus 66. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
I'll take that any day, Jimmy. I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Just that. I think Alex played for the 49ers and he seemed to be doing okay. And then Kaepernick came in.
Right.
They sent him to Kansas City, and we got the other guy now. What's his name? Mahomes, and it just seemed one thing after another. Then he goes to, he has the leg injury, and oh my God, the league.
WP just said Skins could have signed Kirk Cousins for nothing. He's right. He's right. Kirk just wanted to play football. But I think Kurt has something up his sleeve though, because he never bought a house in DC.
There you go.
And you know what else, Jimmy? Never bought a car.
Right.
He bought a van, like a RV van from his grandparents, and had it refurbished. Because they used to take him to football games when he was a kid in that van.
Mm-hmm.
So he bought it from him, refurbished, and that's what he drove back and forth. That's a different kind of dude, man. I don't want no house.
Yeah.
Because I might not be. It was like he already knew. First of all, I might not start. And I might not be here. You don't really know if you want me or not.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Dallas Cowboys drive up last year on this little documentary This guy's Cowboys. They ain't making Kirk Cousins money. Ferraris, Land Rovers. You should have seen this shit. They drive it up in front of them with all the fans, and they get out their car and stuff, dressed all to the T. And I'm looking at Kirk Cousins. This sucker don't wear nothing but regular clothes all the time, and got $1 zillion in the bank, and driving an old RV that he refurbished. And that's a different kind of dude. Think about that, dog. That's a different kind of dude. But we talking about guaranteed to the penny.
Yeah.
What that add up to, Jimmy? 45.
A lot.
45 plus 84 plus 66. I don't know what the last deal was. I ain't heard about it. This before the last deal.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking money.
That's true. But Stevie, in his head, he just may not see that. He may not see himself that way. It's like I remember watching an interview with Barbara Streisand, and they took her to New York. They showed the apartment she lived in. When she was 19, 20 years old. And
Brandon say 177, give or take.
There you go.
Give or take. That's a lot of money, Jimmy.
A lot of money, man.
Damn.
A lot of cake.
Anyway, go ahead.
A lot of cake, And she said, even though Barbara's big time. I mean,
wait a minute, Jimmy. I got to stop you right there.
Uh-oh.
Matthew just said Shanahan did his best to kill RG3. Come on, Matthew. Come on, Matthew, man. I thought we was good, man. You hear this? He talking like Dale. Matthew, don't come on this show listening to Dale Bennett no more. I think he rubbing off on you, dog. Come on, we can't even let Dale back. He polluting the minds of the listeners, Jimmy. Come on. I can't believe this.
Once you get caught by Dale, it's over.
It's over, man. This dude Count Dracula or somebody, man, with the fangs. Come on, we got to stop this. I got to help Matthew right now before you finish, man. I got to help him, Jimmy.
We got to help
Jimmy. Can I help him?
We got to help him. He'll be doing thoughts to remember next week on this damn show. Break it down to him, Stevie. Break it down to him, Stevie.
Dog, this is the deal. When the Shanahans didn't try to kill RG3. RG3 killed himself. RG3 if it wasn't for the Shanahans, RG3 would have never did nothing in the NFL. They're the ones who gave him the read option deal with Washington, and nobody else did. Then he want to run around like a chicken with his head cut off, then to almost get his knee torn off his leg. Then him and his daddy, military guy, they walk into the Shanahan's office the next year and say, I want you to make my son into a drop back quarterback. Mike Shanahan was probably thinking, man, who this nigga coming in here talking to me? That's probably what he said. Jimmy, you hear me? Shanahan, you know what I'm saying? He ain't no drop back quarterback. But what happened? Every time Kirk Cousins got in the game, who is a true drop back quarterback, he looked better than RG3. Yeah. So finally they had to go with Kirk Cousins, and the rest is history. Now RG3 is doing a very good job at analyzing football on ESPN. He missed his calling because he's nothing as a quarterback. Kirk Cousins still in the league. They came in the league together. Kirk was a 4th-round draft choice. Did you know that? 4th round. But he started 3 years at Michigan State. 3 years. RG3 only started 1 year. And the Shanahans did not want to take him in the 1st round. That was your boy that owns Washington, Dan Snyder. He was just infatuated with him. You know who the Shanahans want to take in the 1st round? They want to take Kirk Cousins. Yes. He's a 3-year starter, Jimmy, and a 3-year captain.
Yeah, but you're right. No, the owner, the boy wonder,
Yeah, that crook.
Yeah.
The worst owner in the history of the NFL. A crooked crook.
Yeah.
And they caught him. You know, trying to He trying to I don't want to get into that, man. I don't want to start that. But man, I'm just trying to help you out. Wait a minute. Somebody just put something up, Jimmy. You got to see this. Matthew, Kirk took John Randall. Yeah, RG3 hurt himself, brother, because he never adapted to the NFL. Even when he went to other teams, he looked like shit. Even when he was backing up your boy in Baltimore, he looked like garbage. Man, get out of here. Go sit down somewhere. Shit, your game done pass you by. Oh, that's what I tell RG3 and his daddy. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the game. Somebody just put up here, Kirk Cousins has made $231 million guaranteed. Woo, man. Matthew just said Kirk Cousins is 35. He came in the league in 2011.
Yeah.
That's 13 years. He was 22 when he came in the league. That's what he's supposed to be, 35. Yeah. But anyway, Jimmy, go ahead and finish, man, because we got to wrap up.
Yeah, we got to wrap up. Yeah, but, you know, just Barbara, you know, all the money she's made, she said there's always a part of her that will always be that young woman in that ranky-dink shit-ass apartment. You know, right. Because the way she came, you know,
right.
Things. So I don't know what Kurt's story is. Maybe he had hardship growing up, you know, and, you know.
Kurt, old man, is a preacher.
Yeah, see?
He come from a highly Christian. His dad is like got his own church and stuff.
Well, there you go.
Now,
right.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that people go through
what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying, Jimmy, when you're a 3-year starter and a 3-year captain, you're 19 years old, dog, and you already a captain?
Yeah.
19, 20 at Michigan State?
Yeah.
You're very mature, if you know what I'm saying. You're very mature for your age. And not only do you see the maturity, not only do you see the maturity as a young kid, you see the maturity as a grown man. Because he never got into the hype. And he never gave a shit about what people say about him. I just play football. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I bought my daddy that new church.
Yeah. But he was grounded, man. You know, it's just like, if you don't mind me saying, we had a private conversation and you say, shit, I may have to move back into this house one day. You know what I'm saying? But in other words, you were grounded though. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You say, right. You know, anything, I'm gonna have to move back to the, you know, so you knew. You know, right. So maybe he had that same type of
you never know.
Have that mindset is what I'm getting to.
You never know, bro. I'm just
man, we gotta wrap it up because I'm totally unprepared tonight. I thought we were doing it, next week, but we'll meet again in December, I guess.
We'll probably do it next week too. Cool. I'm just saying, you ain't been on in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And people been asking about you.
Yeah, I miss them too, man. I miss them too. And so Stevie, what are the chances of the Queen putting us on her podcast?
I don't know if Queen's got a podcast.
The Queen has a podcast, baby. She got to put us on that podcast.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Queen are smiling and pointing.
Look at this. WP just said, fact, Shanahan made an offense that made RG look like a Hall of Famer. Okay. And that fool blew it. He just hard-headed, man. Hard-headed. I'm going to tell you like my mother used to tell me, hard-headed make a soft ass.
Soft ass.
Very, very fast. I want to be a drop-back quarterback. But you ain't never been a drop-back quarterback, even in college. Yeah. They brought a college offense and put it in play, and that's why the Redskins at that time, that's why they were kind of lethal and went to the playoffs. And I'm going to tell you, if he hadn't hurt his knee, I honestly think the Redskins would have went further in the playoffs, man, because he came out there with his knee wrapped up. He couldn't move, and it ended up going out that day. He had to have surgery the next week. And, it was what it was, man.
Who else did he play for, Stevie? Who else did he play for? What other teams did he play for?
When he left there, you remember he was out of the league for a minute. Okay. He was out of the league for about a year. And then he ended up going to, I remember like I said, he finished his career with the Ravens. But he played with somebody else before that, but I can't remember who it was, Jimmy.
Was it Cleveland?
Nobody wanted him, huh?
Was it Cleveland?
It could have been. I think you're right. He could have been. I'm not sure, but
quarterbacks go
it
up
was
there and
just
just
one.
disappear.
Well,
Shit.
nobody was looking for a. Like I say, RG3 never developed that skill to be a drop back quarterback. Because even in college, when he threw for all those yards and he won the Heisman Trophy, you know what I'm saying? It was college, Harry high school type stuff that you see in college, the read option stuff and all that kind of stuff. But the Shanahans, come on, man, the Shanahans, they about making quarterbacks into good quarterbacks, but man, we don't do that Harry high school stuff. So what they did, Jimmy, I don't know if you know this or not, they went to Baylor. They went to Baylor in Waco. And they got with his offensive coordinator in college. You see what I'm saying? And they went over a lot of stuff, and him and Kyle came up with an offense for him for the pros. And the rest is history. But they didn't want to be doing that. But since the owner, that's who signs your check, Jimmy. I want y'all to make him into a quarterback. So that's what they had to do. But they knew it wasn't going to last because he don't even know how to slot.
And Steve,
he
those
didn't
things,
know how to, huh?
Yeah, those things set you back because I remember when the guy here in Texas, the quarterback for UT, black guy, Vince Young.
Right.
He went to Tennessee because the owner didn't want the Texans to take him.
Exactly.
And then they bring in Norm Chow.
Right.
And
offensive coordinator at that time.
Right, it's the OC, right. And it's like, this is not going to work. And they knew it halfway through the damn season. And those things just set you back. They just, when you make the wrong decision like that, man.
But you remember, Norm Chow did the same thing for Vince Young. He put a lot of his stuff in from college. Vince was the rookie of the year. RG3 was the rookie of the year. They both had a lot in common. One went to Texas, one went to Baylor. One was run up for the Heisman Trophy. One won the Heisman Trophy. They both played read option offenses. But that shit doesn't correlate in the pros. That's why Vince never got better. Norm Chow left and got a job on the West Coast in the Pac-10 somewhere. So then they had to start trying to make him be a drop back quarterback, and he never could get it. Neither could RG3.
And you know why?
Couldn't get it.
And you know why? Because in the pros, these people figure you out.
Yes.
Do you know what the definition of greatness is?
What's that?
When people know what you're going to do and they can't stop you. That's greatness.
That's greatness.
That, they know what Tom Brady's going to do, but they can't stop him. That's called greatness. But they figure out what you do, and they make you one-dimensional. See,
and another thing about guys like Brady, Manning, and some of these other guys, they never brought the same offense every week. No. It was different. They got 10 different formations for one play. They do the same play, but the formation is never the same week to week. That's a lot of shit to remember in your head. I remember even for the receivers, the offensive linemen, this, that, and the other. That's a lot of shit to remember. So on those teams, not only did you have to be physically good, you had to have a mental prowess to keep up. We got 150 plays. The next team might have 75. Yeah. So it's hard to read. Oh man, they're lining up this way. The safety think this is going to happen because on tape it looks that way, but the day of the game, it's all changed.
All changed.
And by the time you figure it out, they got a lead on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That time you figure you're going into the fourth quarter now. You got a lead on you. Have you ever noticed how Peyton Manning and Tom Brady always got leads and made people catch up? And you'd be like, damn, how they so efficient at the beginning of the game? You didn't see the efficiency fall off to the end of the game. So now you done seen it enough and go, oh, now that but it's too late. It's too late by then.
Yeah.
I used to read that stuff all the time. And I'm like,
you know,
damn, man, that's the same play they did. That's the same
yeah.
play they did, but they did it from a totally different formation.
That's what they do, man. That's what they do.
And they had the hand signals and stuff. I'm like, golly, you had to be, you know what I'm saying? You just had to have your stuff.
But in those days, Stevie, I think the Colts and the Patriots had the most college graduates on their teams.
You might be right.
And there was another stat that it was something like over 80% of the people who played the Patriots, the following week they lost. Because they just drained you mentally, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, they just
I mean, everybody think it's just Tom Brady. That's easy. That's easy. But as great as he is, and as great as Peyton Manning is, brother, to play with them on the field with him, you better be worthy, or they not gonna let you play with him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Get that guy out of here.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You missed the formation. Get him out of here. You know, they got the cachet to tell a coach he ain't ready.
He ain't ready.
Get him out of here. Because you can't remember these 100 different formations. Jimmy.
And no showboating. There was a guy that caught a pass from Peyton Manning with one hand.
Right.
And he got back to the huddle and Peyton said, "Good job. Don't ever do that again."
Right.
Don't ever do that again.
Right.
You know, so yeah.
Hey, bro, anyway. But this ain't tiddlywinks, baby. It's about winning. And them guys got computer minds. If you can't keep up with them, I think Peyton Manning I think him and Big Ben have made more millionaires. I think, probably about 30, 40 guys, each one of them guys, 10% of their salaries. For the rest of the Mannings that's coming later on.
Yeah.
But anyway, y'all, appreciate everybody hanging on tonight and riding on the train. But we got to go watch this football game because I want to see what Russell Wilson, Mr. Somebody, is going to do tonight. Got his own room. Man.
Good.
Got his own room. Got to knock on the door. Come in. Russell, can I talk to you? Come on. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he do tonight. Jimmy, any parting words, baby?
Yeah, man. I want to give a quick shout out to my auntie Jean Knight. She's in the hospital having some big time medical issues, in a coma.
Right.
So we hope.
Jimmy, did you freeze up?
You there?
We still see you though. But okay, y'all. We gonna get out of here. For my man Jimmy Tibbs, I'm Stevie Ray. See you guys tomorrow night. Maybe Sonny on or be on. And I got a good one coming for y'all next Tuesday. Y'all don't want to miss this. Big interview, big time talent. Peace and be one.